Hey guys, it's George with Firehouse Music, and today I'm here with my good friend David Wesley. He's going to be leading a rock camp program. It's something that we've done over the years, and it's essentially teaching students how to play in a band together. So, Dave, just tell us a little bit about that.
About the rock camp. Well, what we generally do is we'll take students from different disciplines and we'll assemble them into a band. So we'll take a guitar player, a bass student, a drum student, and fulfill all the roles of the band needs. And then what we do is once a week we get together, we rehearse as a band. The students, they get to choose their own band name. You know, it's a real authentic experience. They rehearse each week. They have responsibilities on their own time to take care of. And all of that works towards at the end of the summer where they'll headline our end of the summer student recital and get some actual concert experience on stage. And this is the kind of experience that's extremely difficult for students to get when they're too young to get into clubs and too young to play open mics and things like that. Getting stage time is all but impossible. Most of them can't drive yet. And so even getting together to rehearse with bands is almost impossible. So this is a really valuable experience that can help guide their goals moving forward as musicians. And plus, being in a band is one of the coolest things that you can do. I mean, that's just science. Everybody at some point in their life daydreams about what would it be like to be in a band. Everybody wants to think about that because it's so fun and it's so awesome. So this is a great opportunity for them to get a chance to do that in a structured way, and then have a professional around that can guide them in a way that's efficient and will give them a good result at the end that they can all be proud of.
So I want to piggyback off that. You mentioned a professional. So tell me a little bit about your experience playing with bands, maybe like touring. Like why are you qualified to lead a band setting?
That's an excellent question, George. Thanks for asking it. When I was 15, my dad gave me my first electric guitar, and it was that same year I put together my first band. I've never auditioned for a band. I've always been a founding member of every band I've been in, and that occupied about 3 decades of my life from that point moving forward. I was in several bands that got quite popular and was able to get management and do tours around the country. It was an amazing experience, absolute one of the greatest times of my life, and I wouldn't trade for anything. Highly recommend it. Like I said, playing bands, kids, it's great. I was in bands that got to play with a lot of my heroes, which was a great experience. But mainly the experience that I took was, like I said, as a founding member. These were bands that I typically chose the members for and started on my own. So I had a bigger role than normal in terms of organization and all of the things that will make me good for a role as a rock camp teacher.
So tell me a little bit about, because I know everybody now Googles everything, right? Mm-hmm. So what are some like Googleable, is that a word? Googleable. Like names maybe for like a band that they can go check out if they want.
Oh, of mine?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. If you want to dig into the Wayback Machine, you can go find me online. You can go look for Winter Houston on YouTube. There's a bunch of live clips from one of the bigger bands I was in called Winter. And you can go to lifeandtimesmusic.com and hear, stream and listen to and download 3 full albums that I did with my band Life and Times that I recorded with my brother. I think there's some stuff from a band called SSR, it's a super proggy kind of Watchtower-like band that I was in, but that's a little bit harder to find. I can't remember how you would dig that up. I think there's isolated tracks out there. You know, there was a band I was in called Punch, and I know there's some live footage from them. And Big Bang Theory was the name of a band that preceded the show, so we invented the term. And but yeah, those are the 2 main places I guess you could go if you wanted to hear some of my old bands play.
What do you think are, because like playing individually, or if you're a solo musician, there are some qualities that you need to have, and they're probably common to a lot of different jobs, right? Mm-hmm. But what about in a band setting? What are some qualities that you think are important for a musician to have in order to gel well in a band?
Mm-hmm. I would say that having a common musical vision together is really helpful. If you have one member of a band that's pulling one direction, like more aggressive music or something, and another one's pulling a different direction.
One Direction, the band.
Or towards playing One Direction covers, then that can cause, I've seen that cause a lot of problems in bands. But as far as individual characteristics, I think that a desire for excellence, of course, is going to make sure that everybody pulls their weight, which is really important in an ensemble setting. And also, I think having thick skin, like being able to take honest criticism. People that are kind of prima donnas or are sensitive, they don't do well in band environments because there's so much collaboration that goes on musically when you're an artist painting a picture. Then your vision is all that matters, but that's not the case when you're in a band. When you're in a band, you're part of a family, you're part of a tribe, a team, and if one member isn't pulling their weight, the whole band sounds like crap.
Yeah, and it's a little bit tough, I think, from the musician's perspective, right? If you have your baby, your idea, and then you're, say, like, I have an idea for a riff or something, and I bring it to you, and then you're like, that sucks. So you have to learn how to take that. Maybe also how to, like, give the criticism as well.
Diplomacy is also a good skill.
Yeah.
You want to be able to express yourself and be cognizant that other people have feelings, and these are some of the lessons that I think rock camp can help teach young people, is that they won't get, working individually on their individual instruments, that their teachers giving them, working on teaching them how to play that instrument. But that's a very different animal from having to play instruments with other people. So I think that the idea of playing in bands are inherently democratic. Like I said, if one person is not in time, then the audience is not going to interpret that as, oh, that one guy's he's not quite in time. They're just going to hear the thing overall and say, this does not sound good. Everybody has to be on the same page, and they have to be pulling their weight together. And so that's a valuable skill for later in life when you're working as part of a team of your employment, or even in a family unit. Being able to give constructive criticism in a way that's kind and gets your point across. Being able to accept that same kind of criticism to where you can work together as people towards a common goal. And those are all great attributes to have in a band, but not just in a band. They apply in so many ways in life. There's a lot of valuable lessons that kids can take from this. I also want to say, if you're considering signing up your student or yourself for rock camp, we've had, on several occasions, we've had the people that form a band in rock camp continue to see and rehearse with each other after rock camp is over. They carry on the band, like they enjoy it so much and have enjoyed the process of working together as a unit, that they carry on doing it well after rock camp is over. So I think that's pretty telling in terms of how fun it is, but also how valuable it can be.
Yeah, I think it also brings, so it's sort of like a tool for people to be social, because now, I'm gonna sound old, but now everybody's on social media and Instagram and Facebook, and all of this, and the face-to-face interaction doesn't happen that much, and that's something that's like, it's super cool. It
is, yeah, and it's hard. I think a lot of kids and young people struggle to make those kind of connections, and if you can get an organized kind of a setup to where they're inherently going to be like-minded. They're going to all love music. They're going to all be studying an art. That's your tribe. That's a really cool way to network with some people that you wouldn't necessarily not have met any other way. Sometimes if you're going to school, like you're just a random high schooler or a middle school student, you might struggle to find somebody else that will play music with you. It can be hard to find that.
So what should a student expect? So like, imagine like I'm somebody who doesn't know anything. Maybe I've been playing my guitar for a little bit, for a few months by myself, and I'm interested in this rock camp. What can a student expect when they show up? How do the classes work?
Well, I'm excited to be running it because I've always wondered what it would be like to run the rock camp. We've had some really good experiences with it over the years, but I never have been in charge of it. So I want to first of all say that every student or every person in the rock camp ensemble will have a voice. Everything will be decided democratically. There will be no favoritism or anything like that. They're going to decide the material that they want to rehearse. They'll be picking their own music, and we'll be voting for that. They'll be picking their own band names. Those are all really fun things for them to do, and also help provide a cohesiveness to where you feel like you're part of a team. Once you get that band name and you start locking down your set, and you have a specific goal that you're working towards. In this case, will be a live concert at the end of August. It's part of our recital. Mm-hmm. What we'll do is we're going to meet every Saturday during the summer while school is out for an hour in the afternoon, and I'll be there to grease the wheels. We'll set up the equipment. They're just going to roll in. First thing we'll do is we'll get our groundwork laid. Start talking about what songs we want to rehearse, and then it will be on the students to go to their individual teachers and to master that material as quickly as possible on their own time, so that we can show up and then start putting the pieces together to form a band sound. And then, we'll go through all of the details that it takes to sound good. We need to understand that the bass and the drums have a very special relationship to each other. They have to focus differently than the guitar player and the drums would, for instance. It's not just about staying on time. It's about, there's a lot of complexity that can be built in that creates a sound that people will not be able to believe was put together by kids in a single summer. So there's going to be a real source of pride that they're, not only the students will take with them after the program, but also the family members. They got to watch them experience that and see the culmination.
So let me jump in for a second. So you talked about individual instructors. This is going to be open to pretty much everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Students, of course, are going to get a discounted rate. We always do that. But so, in your opinion, a student that's not a member mm-hmm. of our group of students, right? In your opinion, they should have a private instructor that.
Yes, they should at least be able to interpret tablatures and understand how to practice and things like that. We don't want to have a situation where anybody's feeling like they're pulling the team down. You know what I mean? I want everyone to feel like they're doing good and contributing equally. So if we end up with a student that's not under our personal instruction, which we know is excellent, of course, it goes without saying, in the absence of that, they may find themselves struggling. So I'll be there to offer individual help if that happens, and possibly even recommend a short course of lessons private lessons specifically for learning the material for rock camp, so they can not necessarily commit to a year's worth of lessons or anything like that, but just enough to get their feet under them so that they can contribute fully to the project.
Very cool, very cool.
I'm excited. I hope that we get a full band. I'm ready to get in there and get after it, man.
Well, so there you have it, guys. That's Dave. He's been a long-time friend of mine, amazing musician. You gotta hear him as a guitar player. You have a YouTube channel where you show your chops and stuff.
Somewhat, yeah. I haven't posted on there in a while because I'm working on something special. But you can look for that if you want to. That's
what's it called?
The Road to Shred.
Road to Shred.
It's also my Instagram.
Yeah, it's there you go. So check him out. He's awesome. And I'm not saying that just because he's my friend. He really is awesome. He's a really good teacher. Been teaching with us for a long time. And I trust him to run Rock Camp and make it amazing. So yeah, check it out. If you're interested in lessons or you are interested in Rock Camp, just give us a call. All the contact information is going to be in the description of the video. And I'll continue to post instructional material on the channel. Maybe Dave, I've been trying to convince him to put stuff there for a while, so maybe now I'll get him to start giving me stuff. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.